All right, we'll go ahead and call the May 2nd, 2023 Board of Public Works meeting to order. Reading and approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Ron, seconded by Matthew. Readings minutes be approved as written. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Payment of claims in the amount of $89,510.84.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of claims as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Matthew, seconded by Ron, that we pay the claims of $89,510.84. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Regular payroll in the amount of $201,946.55.
I'll make a motion, we approve the regular payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew. Payroll be made in the amount of $201,946.55. All those in favor signify saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
That's 65 cents, not 55 cents.
Which one?
I don't have it. No. It's 65 cents.
65 in place of 55?
Yeah, that's what I've got right here.
Okay, good. Having motion to amend the amount of payroll in the amount of $201,946.65.
I'll make a motion that we amend the payroll to 65 cents.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew to amend the payroll amount to read $201,946.65. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Pension payroll in the amount of $88,751.56.
I'll make a motion to approve the pension payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Matthew, seconded by Ron. Pension payroll in the amount of $88,751.56 be met. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Crossing guard payroll in the amount of $5,990.77.
I'll make a motion, we approve the crossing guard payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew, that the crossing guard payroll in the amount of $5,990.77 be made. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Old business, seeing none. Moving right along. Under new business, we have a request from Nancy Eisenbrenner to have a stop sign installed on the corner of West Canal and Walnut Street.
Good evening. We're now having problems on Canal Street since the YMCA's opened up. They're racing up and down there. They aren't doing the 25 mile an hour. I was on a walk last week. I did stop and wait for the car to go by so that it would see I was waiting. And he rushed within 2 inches of me and then honked at me. And my neighbor next door has had his trash thing hit twice. And the people are just going way too fast. So I was wishing that we could put in a stop sign on Canal Street at Walnut, which is 1 block up, to slow these people down. We've also had 2 accidents on the corner of Chestnut and 2nd Street since that's opened up. The people are just racing up and down there. They're not doing the mileage. And, you know, I know we don't have enough on the police force to have someone sitting down there all the time. So that's why I'm making the request for the stop sign to be there. And I know they're going to put one in, but it's going to be 2 years. Anything can happen in 2 years. So I'd just like to have one little stop sign put in. I'm sure they've got them sitting around somewhere.
Okay, I was down there and looked earlier, and I understand what you're saying about the traffic and everything. We done a traffic count from our traffic department, and on the 3-day count, we had 2,368
Chestnut.
vehicles go through there.
Yes,
With that being said, the speed limit being 25, there was, the average speed was 22, and the fastest speed was 38. The slowest speed was 7. In looking at that area down there, everything's going to be changing, and I understand what you're saying. To me, it would be more feasible, and this is something that we'll have to discuss with our city attorney and everything. I believe it's Brunel, which is 1 block back this way.
yes,
That's where the entrance and exit's going to be
yes.
at the new housing addition. To me, it would make more sense making that a 4-way stop than it would be going 1 block farther and making it a stop on Canal Street. So, but there again, this is something that I just came from there.
You know, when they floor it down there, they don't, that gives them 2 blocks to run over. It's, I have to mow off the edge there because that's utilities and they won't mow it. And I have to go against the traffic because I don't trust them. And they honk at me every time I'm out there just mowing my yard. And they've also put in a groove that's 2 wheels right. I got pictures if you need to see them of where they're cutting that corner. And pretty soon they're going to hit the tree. They're just going too fast. And I saw that they did have a meter out there checking the traffic speed, but that was on 2nd Street. I never saw that on Canal. They may have, but I never saw it.
Okay.
And I'm home all the time.
Well, this is something that I'm going to ask the board to take it under advisement. We can't make a decision tonight,
Right.
but we
you-
will definitely look into it. We'll talk it over with our traffic department, with police department, also with our city attorney to see how we would go about either making Walnut Street a stop down there at Canal, or Canal Street a stop at Walnut, or a
Even if
four-way.
it has to be temporary for the 2 years, you know, we would really appreciate that because, like I said, you know, my next door neighbor's trash thing was hit twice. He had to actually re-weld it together. So.
Well, I know there's
that's-
been a lot more traffic since New Y opened up down there,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be a lot more yet once the housing addition gets built.
Yeah,
And that's why the first phase of that project is going to be on down, coming out of the Y straight to Main Street with the traffic signal. They should be starting on that sometime later this month or first next month, I believe. And then phase 2 will be where they'll bring Canal Street and do away with the 90-degree turn to
Right.
where it will come in eventually to 2nd Street, and they'll join up over there on Forest.
right.
So, but in the meantime, like I say, I'm asking for a proposal to take it under advisement so that we'll have at least a month to look over the different scenarios and stuff that we've got. And that will give us time to do a study of the traffic. You are right, that was on 2nd Street where they had the counter. But I'm not sure with the fencing and stuff up down there on Canal Street where there's even room to set one.
Yeah, that's what I think, unless they put it off at the end of the street where Chestnut curves.
Right.
It's the only place they could put it probably.
So,
Okay, thank you very much for
all
your
right,
time.
and I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we take it under advisement and revisit it on our meeting on May 30th.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew, that we table this matter till May 30th. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Next order of business is a request from Bridget Richardson Dalton to close portions of West Canal and West Second Street on August 26th from 4 to 5 p.m. for the annual Through the Trees Overdose Awareness Walk.
Hello, good afternoon. First of all, I want to explain why I decided to do something like this. We did start back in 2017. We did team up with the SOCGC. We did that for 2017, 2018. There was some problems family-wise with my mother, so we had to end up taking a break, and we brought it back last year. The reason why we decided to start it is my sister, Brandy, passed away from a fentanyl, methadone, and heroin overdose. She was 25 years old, and it seemed like subsequently, as soon as we jumped on Crew Scanner, we have been seeing nothing but overdoses. We've seen them in my County Correctional Facility. We've seen them around our town, in our county, even over in Wabash and Howard County. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get this to stop or at least slow down as much as we can.
So do you raise money at this event, or?
We do get sponsors. They either donate monetary donations or they donate some of their products. Last year, we actually were very equipped when it came to like the raffles, the banner. People helped with the shirts, which is one that I'm wearing. It all goes towards the walk. So, like renting the shelter house that's down at West City Ballpark. Even down to the food. So most of it's either donated or we go out and we buy it.
Now, is this a actual walking group then?
Walk,
Walk around?
push, ride, whatever you can actually do.
The reason I'm asking this, it's been what, year before last that you did this?
It was last year.
We did it last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is because to me it would be a lot safer, and the walkway goes clear to the Nickel Plate Trail now at
That's-
West City Park.
That's true, but the way that Brandy always used to walk from West City Ballpark to even the gazebo was she always took Canal Street. The first year that we did this, we took Canal Street. So we're trying to do everything in memory of her, but also raise awareness of overdoses and the drug problem that we do have. That's why we decided to do Canal, and it goes to the Riverside Youth Center, and then it actually circles back onto the Riverwalk. So it's like a big circle that we do. So it's not like we walk back on Canal. We just walk there on Canal.
You walk from where to where on
Oh.
Canal?
West City Ballpark to the Riverview Event Center.
Okay.
And then we take the trails back to the West City Ballpark.
Oh, okay. It's the police chief, did we have any problems last year?
No. It was
Chief
just mainly-
Sophianis,
Yes,
did we have any issues last year with traffic or anything like that, or?
I think they did it last year in the morning.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do it that hour of the day, we would probably have to have 6 people come in on overtime to be able to control the traffic on the street and the side streets.
Problem is, there's no sidewalks down here.
Well, that's the thing, there's no sidewalk area down there on the walk that they do.
No.
And with the increase of traffic from the construction and everything, it's, I hate to tell you no, I really do. But for safety wise, and your sister wouldn't want to see somebody hit by a car walking in her memory either.
Yeah,
I think it would be best, my recommendation, but that's, I'm not the board, I'm just one member. My recommendation would be you walk on the walkway all the way down to City Park and walk back on the walkway for your safety and everybody else's
but
safety.
how is the community gonna be able to see? You know, if we're on the walkway, nobody's gonna see the banner, nobody's gonna see anything of what we're doing.
That's where you bring it out into the public more than what you have. Because frankly, I hadn't, of course, I was gone sick last summer and everything, so, but this was the first I'd heard about it. And this is where you need to make it out there constantly and start in remembrance of your sister. This is coming up, and, you know, you've got until August the 26th now to even do a fundraiser for her memory or what have you, to maybe get a few sponsors and stuff to where maybe some of these food vendors would want to set up in West City Park or something for this to serve, you know, hamburgers, hot dogs, tacos, whatever they do. And that's just a suggestion.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely tried, we've been out walking for the past
We already
3
have
weeks.
the Miami County Historical Society on board as a sponsor and a few others here in town, so.
If there would be sidewalks in the area and stuff and not all the traffic from, especially the truck traffic in and out of the housing addition that you're building now. And then you can see from our, just on Second Street alone, in that block and a half area, is over almost 3,000 cars.
I mean, what if we just block off the side streets so that way nobody's coming through onto the main street?
I mean, like coming down Second Street and then cutting back over, or?
Like the side streets that run Kelly Corner from Canal.
So-
Walnut, Chestnut, Brownell,
Right.
what she's talking about.
And they're only gonna be blocked off for about an hour, if that.
I understand it doesn't sound like much, but if we have to have the police department blocking this stuff off to keep everybody safe, I gotta bring in at least 5 or 6 officers and paying overtime to get them down there for that hour or two. Because it can't be, I can't expect somebody to come in to work for 50 minutes and not get 2 hours pay.
Well, what if we were to be able to provide that and make sure and ensure everybody's safe?
How?
We actually, we're trying to get the Guardians of the Children involved. And I know for a fact that they would actually block off the streets with their bikes and they would also
The only
run.
thing is, they're not qualified to do that. It takes an enforcement person to actually be able to do that. Am I right in that assumption?
That most certainly is. That, and you can't have pedestrians blocking off the road, well, not pedestrians, I know what you're referring to, the Guardians, the bike group, correct? Yeah, you just can't have private citizens just, oh, we're gonna blockade this road at this point. I mean, you gotta have public safety doing it.
A lot of times they assist. I mean, you'll have
They
like,
could lead the parade or
yeah,
lead the walk,
but you have to have an officer there.
Yeah, it was, if it wasn't blocking off Canal Street, it wasn't for all the traffic. If it was just on Second Street or even Third Street and not coming back to where there's absolutely no sidewalks, that's the safety issue for you and everybody that participates in it. I don't know. What's the feelings of the board?
Is there any way you could do, like, and I'm just gonna call them yard signs, but, you know, they did that with the, they did something like that with one of the other routes that somebody took. I can't remember which thing it was. But they actually just placed markers along there, and then they did their march a different, they didn't go that exact route, is what I'm saying. So if you had something to memorialize the route that she took with some signage, and then do the walk, say, you know, a more safe area, that way you kind of draw attention to it, and
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how we would actually do that, because the way that it comes out from West City Ballpark, there's really no safe way of coming out.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you're gonna have to come down and up and over in front of the Y and then back on Second Street and then from Second over to Canal and then Canal back.
Well, that's another thing that I'm personally not comfortable with. Back in 2017 and 2020, I was attacked by a Rottweiler and a pit bull, and I was walking down the sidewalk. So that's kind of a comfort thing for me. So I can't, I mean, I'm going through therapy and stuff to try to get over it, but I can't still do it.
Do you have any comment?
Not really. It's tough because that's what this board's for, public safety. That's the biggest concern for you and the other people attending and the people who are driving.
Okay, we got the fire chief and the police chief sitting out in the audience, and also our head of our traffic department. What do you guys think about this?
That on Maple is blocked off now. Is that gonna be private property, is that gonna be, are we maintaining that, or is that part of the private property, the new, where you turn in and blocked and curb at Maple? Is that gonna be their parking or their?
Actually, it's supposed to be cutting through at an angle and intersecting with Maple right there. So everything from the northeast side of Maple Street on down.
Okay. Well, I was thinking, if that's gonna be open by August, I'm assuming.
Are you talking about down there?
We're near where the boat ramp project is.
Right, so you're talking about on the curve there.
Can you, is that gonna be private property?
It's my understanding that,
Gonna be,
but the streets are going to be
We're gonna
maintained,
maintain.
they're going to be maintained by the city.
right, but that part of the street is no longer gonna be there once they get phase 2 done to intersect Second Street and Maple together.
The cul-de-sac,
forest.
where the cul-de-sac, no, they put an entrance there. There's an entrance going to be
Yeah,
there.
it's
On back,
on
on
back.
the south end,
Correct.
right.
That's what I think you're
That
talking about.
southeast corner, can that be a cut through to the river's side?
I mean, you could,
Instead
Well,
of
that could
walking
be
on
through
street?
the
yeah,
housing
you
addition.
could come through the housing addition.
Yeah,
The only problem is then you come out to now you got to come out on Brownell.
yeah, okay. Yeah,
So
you
you'd
did
still
that.
have the, I mean, it'd be a lot less
Yeah.
issue, but you would come
Well,
out.
actually, they wouldn't. They could stay in the housing addition clear through to the river walkway.
Is there gonna be a building down there? Yeah, that's what I thought too, I didn't.
But they're going to the
Yeah,
river.
because it comes right in behind the,
There's no road, I think, that connects to it. It comes out on Brownell, but I mean, they could.
Yeah, because the fence will be down. That's the construction fence.
mhm.
Yeah, so then, yeah, you could,
If we get them to take that fence, we're talking about on the far south side
Yeah.
of Maple Street, where they're putting they put a roadway in. And that's gonna be the back entrance to the housing addition. If we could get them to open that up, you could take their road that they're in there now. It'd be a lot safer because you wouldn't be fighting with Canal Street and everything.
Yeah,
And then you could come out right behind the River Walkway or Riverview Event Center.
and that would actually work out a lot better, because then we won't have to go around the event center, we'll just kind of.
Exactly, you can
So
go,
that actually works, yes.
okay.
And
Is that
the-
Osprey?
And the counter the other day, we did have it in that curve at Canal. And for some odd reason, between 4 and 5 o'clock, that's when all the traffic's down there. I don't ask me why, But that's the highest concentration, 90 and above.
You get a lot of people coming, I've noticed you get a lot of people coming to the Y
Yeah.
after they get off work, or they're coming there to pick up their kids.
Daycare.
So they're,
Would you be willing to check with them?
yeah.
Let us take this under advisement for 2 weeks. And that way we can get with the building crew down there to make sure they can open the gate for you and let you and your walkers go through clear from one end to the other. And that way you're totally safe. The only thing, you may have to dodge a dump truck or something, but
Yeah, and I mean, if time's a problem, I mean, it doesn't start until 3 o'clock, so we can actually start walking as soon as people get there at 3, and then have the rest of the stuff after everybody gets back.
okay.
Well,
So-
they'll definitely have, some of the buildings should be starting to be occupied by then, I'm sure of that. I'm assuming they're gonna have the road finished paved. I mean, their issue is gonna be, if the road's not finished, that might be an issue. But I can check with them, and I'm down there a lot, so,
They should have the first base coat down on all of it.
yeah, it's,
So it'll be smooth walking, but,
right.
yeah. So, and I think that would be a lot safer than cutting down Second Down Canal and then back around.
Right.
So, give us a couple of weeks and come back here at 4 o'clock on, what's,
Was the,
So it'd be the 16th, May 16th. So I'll make a motion that we table this till May 16th and revisit it then.
motion been made by Ron,
second by me?
seconded by Matthew, that we table this until May 16th meeting, and you will be back then, okay? All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving right along. Request from Sherry Lesnowski to close West 7th Street between North Broadway and Clown Alley on Saturday, July 29th, for the annual Back to School Festival from noon until 3.
I think she,
We've done this multiple years, I believe, haven't we?
Right. Sherry isn't here at this particular time either.
We've not ever had any problems with them.
she says she's unable to attend in the,
Yeah, because Todd just brings the barricades up and sets them up. And
Unless you want discussion, I can make a motion.
go ahead.
I'll make a motion, we approve the request as presented.
second?
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew, approve the request as presented. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Communications. I have none. Ron, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Nope.
Matthew? Does the city attorney have any? Anything from the audience? If not, appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Try and stay warm out there.
I'll make
It is May, but it's still cold. So, have a good evening.
Have we